Witness consciousness. Topic of today's video. And I'm going to show you how taking this perspective of the witness can drastically change your life pretty much immediately. And you'll never view reality the same again. And the speed at which you achieve your desires will accelerate very quickly. And you're going to have this power within you to manifest your desires through more synchronicities, through more harmony, and in less time. Now, stick with me to the end of this video because I'm going to show you an exercise which is going to immediately give you this. It's going to be a tool to immediately take you to that space of witnessing. And it's going to change the way that you view reality and how you're spending time with yourself, right? Because wherever we go, there we are, right? We cannot get away from mind. It's always going to be there. And this will give you a way to change your relationship to it so that it becomes your tool rather than your master. So let's get started. Witness consciousness, right? The act of observing something without judgment. What this does is it disengages you from the default mode network, which is, as you've seen in previous videos, the habitual way of behaving on autopilot. The mind thinks certain ways, it develops certain beliefs, and after decades of doing this, the mind starts to propagate on its own. And this is the default mode network on autopilot. It's concerned with what you think, what other people think, what you like and dislike, what your preferences are, your biases, your distortions, as well as those of others. It's constantly comparing and contrasting and judging rather than observing and perceiving. So when that happens, you start to become a slave to your own mind. Okay, this is why modern humans are unable to live fulfilled lives. This is the reason, because we forgot who we are. This is who you are. Okay, you are witness consciousness. You are not your mind. You're not your name. You're not your likes and dislikes. That's a story which was basically given to you by society. And it programmed you to believe and act a certain way. And so, understandably so, you forgot who you really were. Okay? So let's take a deep dive into what's actually going on here. So, you might ask, if this is so powerful, why doesn't everybody do it? It's a great question. This is why. One word, mind. Okay? And this mind has now become the master of your reality. It is deciding how successful you are. It is deciding how you behave, what you like, what you don't like, judging other people, comparing yourself to them, wanting what they want. Mind. And I'm going to ask you to do something real quick. Okay? Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And now silently say hello. So you can make your mind say hello. Now make your mind say goodbye. And you're actually hearing this in your mind. Now make your mind say, I hate you. Now make your mind say, I love you. Interesting. We're in direct control over what the mind can say, and we can make it say contradictory statements. Like, I love you and I hate you. Which one is it? Do you love me or do you hate me? Make up your mind. And so you might ask, well, if I can control exactly what the mind says, then why are you saying the mind has become the master? Great question. It's because of unconsciousness. So what's happening is that there are things going on below the level of awareness. Consciousness basically means awareness. If it's unconscious, it's below the level of awareness. We don't realize it's happening, but it's happening. It's like a glacier, in the lake, and you see the glacier on top of the lake, but there's a huge chunk of glacier below that you can't see. That's what's happening. Something's going on underneath the level of awareness that you can't hear or feel. And this is happening because of suppression. Also, repression. Something happened to you in the past which your mind did not like. It caused a lot of unpleasant feelings, and now to avoid feeling that, you've psychologically, mentally, emotionally stuffed it down to the point where it's outside of your awareness, but it's still there. And what's happening is it's causing havoc in your body, mind, and soul because it's still there. So when this happens, we start to age faster. Our body starts to accumulate disease in the form of inflammation, pain, and cancer. Psychoneuroendocrine immunology is showing that basically all disease starts in the mind. If you go to your doctor in the States, for whatever symptom you have, you get a prescription to mask the symptom. But what if the problem is in the psyche? Are you just going to keep going back over and over again to your doctor to get the same Band-Aid? So how do you deal with this? There's only one way. Well, there's a few ways, but in a nutshell, you surrender. This is a book written by a consciousness researcher and psychiatrist named David R. Hawkins. And he wrote the book Letting Go. I highly recommend that you get it and read it maybe once a year, because every time you read it, you learn something new about yourself. We're going to talk about this book in another video. All right, so this is the reason mind has become the master, because something unpleasant has happened in the past and we have stuffed it down, and it's unconsciously dictating everything that happens in our life. It determines the people we attract into our lives. It determines how much success we have. It determines, how good we feel in our body. It determines how well we sleep. It determines, how much we laugh and smile and do things we love. Everything is controlled by unconscious energy. Because Carl Jung stated that basically your psyche is 95% unconscious and 5% conscious. So if you're living through just your conscious mind, you've tapped 5% of your capacity, of your potential. That's how powerful we are. Okay? So remember this. The next time you're meditating, or you're spending time in nature, or spending time with yourself, you're listening to the thoughts going on in your mind, make yourself say hello, make yourself say goodbye. Understand there's a voice in there that's constantly talking. I mean, this is like having a roommate that is just talking 24/7. It's always there, it's always commenting. Okay? So how do we become the master of mind? And I'm going to show you how to do this. Now, I learned this from a coach of mine. His name is Quasi Joe here. He's got a YouTube channel. You should check him out. A lot of great content on, life coaching and manifestation and, meditation, things like that. And this technique is called the centering technique. Okay? So basically, all day, your mind is like a monkey jumping from tree to tree. All day. Gotta go here, gotta go there, gotta do this, gotta do that. This person said this, what should I say here? How am I gonna do this at work? What about my kid? What's gonna happen to him or her? And this other person did this. Constantly, always jumping from tree to tree. So when you notice your mind is very active, what you do is you stop and you ask yourself 3 questions. 1, who am I? Who am I? Sounds like a simple question, but it's not. It's the most important question anyone could ask themselves in their entire lifetime. Second question, where am I? Sounds like a simple question, but it's not. It's the second most important question anyone can ask them in their entire lifetime. Third question, what am I doing? In this very moment, what am I doing? Sounds like a simple question, but it's not. It's the third most important question that one could ask themselves in their entire lifetime. Okay? This exercise seems simple, but it has layers. And I'm going to show you how to penetrate these layers so that you gain access to witness consciousness and remember who you truly are. This will change your life forever. I can guarantee that. All right, so if you've liked this video, like the channel, subscribe, tell your friends about it. Let's grow together. And if you stayed up until this point, click on this video right here where I'm going to go over how to access witness consciousness by answering the 3 questions from centering. All right, I'll see you then. Peace.